Hey guys, welcome back to Thrive and Peak. This is Thane, your host, and today I am talking about something I coined myself. I call it NAW. It's self-explanatory. It's short, NAW, right? Not allowed wound. Okay? The not allowed wound, or for short, NAW, what I coined it as, is essentially a wound that we all acquire throughout our life. Definitely, like most wounds that we acquire in life, it happens predominantly in your childhood, but it's positions that you find yourself in, circumstances and events that you are not allowed to do something or not allowed to participate in the situation. And we carry that emotion into our everyday circumstances to this day as grown adults. And in this video, you'll understand why, where that comes from, and kind of how you can kind of get rid of that feeling. All right. So let's get into it. Right. I covered this on my second episode, and I called it the not allowed wound, and that came from, imagine like being kids, right? When you were a kid. Excuse me, my allergies are like literally killing me. But when you're a kid, you go into the clubhouses or whatever, like a tree house or like certain thing during recess and things like that, where we have like, oh, no girls allowed, or oh, no boys allowed. And like, yeah, like that creates the camaraderie of the gender that you're collaborating with. But also, in a sense, it, as humans, we have this tribe, right? We develop in tribes, we develop in group settings, and it describes safety for your brain, and so on and so forth. However, whenever you are exposed to that, hey, you're not allowed in here, even though it's in very minute, minuscule sense, it will develop and kind of go past that times 11 in your adulthood, because you bring those fears and anxieties into circumstances like work and then not just in elementary school, but even middle and high school, because those diversions and that safety net that we crave in society, within society, our safety net and our place of belonging, that safety net that we bring into every group setting that we go into in our day-to-day lives. Your brain is somewhat trained to look for those, am I not allowed here? What is going on? Kind of situation, and let me elaborate further on that a little bit, okay? So, like the first time you were told you weren't allowed to do something, right? Think back to that. It was ingrained in your subconscious, right? Whether you realize it or not, it echoes throughout your life. You think about it in workplaces, relationships, social circles, and even in our own homes sometimes. We've gotten better at talking about emotions in society, like recently, like in the recent years, but we don't talk enough about that quiet feeling of being unwanted, unseen, and uninvited almost, right? Recently I saw a meme, and it was like a big thought bubble, and everyone was in the break room, and they had like their smaller thought bubbles, but it was one big cloud, and it was saying the big cloud that everyone was thinking while they're in their boardroom and in their setting is, I hope no one realizes I don't know what I'm doing. And let that sink in for a minute, because 8 people in that room, every one of them are feeling like they don't belong there. You get what I'm saying? And they have, more oftentimes than not, like you feed yourself that type of mindset of like, they say, he who thinks he can will, and he who thinks he cannot will. And I'm saying more times than not, and I've experienced this as well. I personalized and I put a lot of thought going into situations. I knew that I was like, well, this person didn't like me before, and I don't think he's going to like me today. And I kind of put that situation, but a lot of things that happened in my life and in everyone's life are just neutral. And the definition and the meaning of what you put behind it will apply, so on and so forth. So if you put positive things, if a neutral circumstance happens, but you have a positive spin to put on it, I think you'll come out with a positive outlook. But the same thing on the other side of the coin will happen as well. If something neutral will happen, but then you extrapolate it and to make something negative, you're going to find something negative as well that come out of that point that was neutral to begin with. So, in my personal experience, I just developed a better relationship with my day-to-day interactions if I put a positive spin on things. You know what I mean? But I say all that to say, most of the times we're just trying not to be exposed, even though we feel very similar. And that comes from my experience in the Marine Corps. It comes from my experiences with other backgrounds as well. But specifically in the Marine Corps, they talk about brotherhood. And it's real, but it's something you have to build inside the structure, inside the Marine Corps, the brotherhood. Speaking of brotherhood, one of my better friends, he has a fight coming up. He's a boxer. Dude, I've been on the receiving hand of his hands, and he was being generous with me. He was saying we were just in there sparring, and in my backyard in Japan at the time. But yeah, no. And shout out to Jeremy Colors, man, Jeremy Psycho. He has a fight coming up May 29th. Link in description. I'm gonna put his link down there. Because you're going to want to tune into it, all right? You're going to want to tune in. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make this an advertisement, but I just also wanted to shed some love because that person is really, he's a great person. I'm really happy to be his friend. He helped me out recently, like for our daughters are best friends and our sons, they met as best friends as well. But a great family I met in the Marine Corps. And that's what I say when I think of brotherhood when I came, because and I went on that big tangent, but I'm saying when I mean brotherhood, I'm saying it's the brotherhood that you create in the Marine Corps. A lot of people, I've been in rooms with people I've never met, and I felt like I had to walk on eggshells, right? Like I was in danger just for existing. And that kind of conditioning sucks because you're trained to stay on the edge, to scan and to kind of brace yourself. And I kind of extrapolate that and carry that circumstances into, I used to at least, into my day-to-day interactions, and so on and so forth, right? But that's essentially why I'm here. I want to be a resource for people who feel that way, the not allowed wound, and don't even walk around realizing it. For the people who feel kind of out of place, for people who feel like they don't belong anywhere. That's what Thrive and Peak is for. And if anyone feels like they're not allowed, then maybe the truth is the doors were never locked. You were just taught to believe that they were. This space right here that I created at Thrive and Peak is about opening those doors. It's about building those bridges. I sound like a broken record, right? But I offer conversation about it. I offer coaching and one-on-one groups, one-on-one talk groups, and other discussions or whatever else helps really. Just because I feel like having the conversation started, having the conversation in general will go a long, long way. So thank you for listening. Type in the comments or something, or let me know, message me directly. What's a time that you find the not allowed wound or nah applies to you in your day-to-day life, or when has it applied to you? I'm curious just to talk about it. And if you have anything else you want to talk about, I do one-on-one walkthroughs and coaching, link in description as well, or it's in my About Me in the YouTube title. So I appreciate you. I've been Thane. You've been great. This has been Thrive and Peak. Have a good one.